Let's talk about being a leader who doesn't only inspire people, but who actually empowers people. Because there's a huge difference between inspiring someone and empowering them. You can actually inspire someone in just a few minutes, right? You've probably been to a concert where you were so inspired after that show, or you might have had a conversation with someone where you were so inspired after someone encouraging you. You might have been to an art museum and seen a piece of work that inspired you to go out and create. There is a beautiful place for inspiration in our leadership. We should be living lives that inspire people, to live more fully in light of Christ, to press more fully into their own formation, to step more, definitively into their own destiny. But it's not enough to just be an inspiring leader. We've got to become empowering leaders, and the difference is huge. You can inspire people in a moment. You can inspire people from the stage. You can inspire people from a distance. You can't empower anyone like that, though. It just won't work. I mean, Jesus was the most inspiring person to ever live, right? But he still empowered his disciples, not merely inspired them. Obviously, it takes a long time and it takes a lot of work. Now, there's lots of places as a leader you can go and get inspired. Most conferences that you've been to have probably been, I hope, really inspiring. That's good. We've got to, inspiration means breath coming in from the outside and making us alive. So Genesis, obviously, it's the breath of God that makes a lot. Inspiration is important. But being inspiring versus being empowering makes all the difference in the world for actually what happens in the next person, in the next generation's future. Because to inspire you to want to do better is one thing. To empower you to be able to do better is the better thing. Let's start with being inspiring, but let's not settle for that, and let's not end with that. We've got to become the leaders who don't just inspire. So, gifted leaders will, there will never be, let's put it this way, there will never be a shortage of gifted leaders, worship or otherwise, who will be very happy to inspire you, okay? There's more and more places you can go and be inspired. You can see them do what God's created them to do. They're amazing at it, and it's wonderful. You should absolutely hang out with those people, but a mother or a father is a whole different level of commitment. So obviously, with 10,000 Fathers, here, this is what we're all about, moving from just being inspiring leaders to being empowering leaders. And the thing is, to empower someone, you just have to go really slow. I mean, Jesus took years with those guys to empower his followers. He was not interested in simply getting admirers or inspiring people. I actually went to a leadership conference earlier, a couple months ago, and a great leader who I really look up to had this to say. It was something like, "I'm here to inspire you to believe that you can do better. I'm here to inspire you to believe that you can do better." There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe that's what some people need. Maybe that's all that some people need. Maybe they have all the empowering they need and all the equipping that they need, and all they need is the self-confidence to believe that they can do better. But I was just like, I don't need to be inspired. I need to be equipped. I need to be empowered. I don't just need to believe I can do better. I need you to actually help me do better. You know what I mean? So you're starting to see the difference. Being inspired, like let's say you're on the receiving side. You see someone that's really inspiring. That requires very little of you. Basically just enough time for you to see how great they are or whatever. Being empowered is going to cost a lot of you. To receive the empowerment is going to take, you're not passively going to just become empowered. You can pretty passively be inspired. Someone could send you a YouTube link of Chris Thiele playing a mandolin, and you could, in 2 minutes, be very inspired. It doesn't help you actually play better. It does inspire you, though, to want to do better. And here's the thing. Here's the difference between inspiration and empowerment. Inspiring people is like pumping people up for a battle that they are going to have to go and fight, and we're getting them so stoked, and we're sending them out to fight. We just actually didn't give them any swords or shields or a plan. They actually have no chance in this battle. They're going to get crushed because all the inspiration in the world can't touch actual equipping and empowering. So even as we lead, in weekly worship services, are we simply trying to inspire people to make it one more week? Again, that's not necessarily bad. It's just not enough. Are we moving from that to actually equipping them to faithfully worship Jesus through the week? Next thing, you can inspire multitudes at once, but you cannot empower multitudes at once. Now, let's say that you've gone to the conferences and you've gone to the great retreats or whatever, and you thought you got what you needed because you got all the chill bumps and you got to hang out with some big shots, or whatever, you got a great couple days. That's great. But you need more than that. You're going to need to actually do the hard work over a long period of time. Go back to the bathymetry conversation we had just earlier. It's actually what's shaping who you are deep down that's going to determine what's happening on the surface, and no amount of inspiration. Like, no matter how many fans you blow at the ocean right there on the beach, you're not going to be able to pump up the waves. The power comes from a different place. And so are we living in such ways that we're not just inspiring people, but we're actually empowering them? So the real work of empowering someone or being empowered as a leader doesn't happen suddenly. It's certainly not sexy. It's not very spectacular, No one wants to sit and watch someone actually play scales on the guitar or do vocal drills and lip trills. Not sensational. But without these things, we're always going to be just reaching for another phantom hope. We're kidding ourselves if we think inspiration is going to do it. And the calling for us, for those who serve and worship, is too significant. It's too weighty. There's way too much on the line for us to simply rely on fleeting moments of inspiration. This battle is real. This road is long, and this journey can be hard. It's not glamorous, but it is glorious. Let's not simply inspire people every Sunday. Let's get into the trenches with them and empower them to actually worship Jesus well.